Hi and welcome to Mechanical Keyboards Live. I'm your host, skiwithpete. And now I'm in the center of the screen wearing my big glasses today. Shout out to Jimmy C yesterday, who was on the show also wearing his big glasses. I said I was going to wear mine. Never did. This morning when I'm thinking about him, thought I would wear the biggies just for him. Hey guys, welcome to everybody. Anchor Bait, Jesus Martini, Steffi, GeoStrebber. Who else was here? Mister was here. He's just been modded. Victor was here. He's also been modded. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I see that there's 16 people currently on the stream. And that at least 10 of you are watching in 240p. What gives? What's up with that? 240p. We're in full 4K. And with that, I'm going to blast your ears out. Cover your ears, yo. It's 4K. It's all in 4K, so we might as well do the 4K thing, right? All right. Today we're going to build this keyboard. This is the black carbon fiber 1UP keyboard. Oh, it's still got the struts on it. I'm going to give this to I'm going to give this to Steph to crank these edges off, just off camera here. Is that what we claim? But the good news is that's not where we're starting. We'd never start there anyways. Normally we'd start with the stabilizers. But putting that off to the side because today we're actually starting with this. The Tassie Home. This is the Soul Rep 2000. Now, full disclosure here. I got to tell you guys the whole story behind this. Tassie Home said, we know that you're obsessed, Pete, with the temperature-controlled Hakko soldering iron, but it's $100 and maybe your audience would be interested in checking out a low-cost temperature adjustable soldering iron. And I said, yes, that sounds great. And then I said we should do a whole thing and I should do a review and then I should test building something with it. And they said that sounds great. And then they said we should do like a giveaway thing and that would be great. Problem is that was back in like January, and then at the end of January, start of February, I got to move. And when I moved, this just started to sit on a shelf. And as you guys know, it's taken me a long time to get the space back up. Yesterday was my first real live stream from the space, and that was with the two dudes, Jimmy C in the street, which was awesome. Thank you to those guys for stopping by, and to all of you guys who checked that out. But with that, it means that this Tassie Home Soul Rep 2000 has sat on my shelf for far too long. So today, even though the giveaway is not ready, I just thought I would crank this thing out and start playing with it and see if I could build a keyboard with it. So that is where we're starting. Oh, maybe I should do this like it was a review. Maybe I should do it like it was a review so I could actually put this on my channel and actually properly review it. Okay, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I know you guys are excited. They sent this to me for free. This is not a paid review at all. I just feel really bad, is the truth. I feel bad because I'm a bad YouTuber. And these aren't the only people that I have put off for a very long time, by the way. I have a number of projects over here to the side. Bad YouTuber. Okay. Hi, I'm skiwithpete, as my hat can tell you. Today we're taking a look at the Tassie Home soldering iron. This is the Soul Rep 2000. This is a temperature-controlled, low-cost budget soldering iron, and I'm going to test it out today. So let's get to it. See, that's all I had to do. Just that little thing. Then I can edit around that later and actually tell people what I think about this. Okay, so the Soul Rep actually comes with 2 replacement tips. It's got a tip already on it, but it's also got 2 tips that come with it. And they sent along, for the purpose of the review, again, not a paid review, but they sent along these 2 really fine tips. Let me put on to action cam here. Look how fine these tips are. Like, they're super fine. The 2 that it comes with, this wedgy one here. See that wedge? No, it's a little out of focus, but it's let me take it out. How about? You see, it's like a, come on, focus. Come on, focus. It's like a lipstick. There we go. Like a lipstick one on the left and a pointy one on the right. And then, of course, like I say, these other two that the package came to me with. I think these are add-ons that you can buy at the Amazon store or whatever. Links, by the way, to this and everything else you can see on my desk are in the About section. So those are the other ones. You can see how pointy those are. Let's see what tip it actually came with. The answer to that is actually the tip that I most often use. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera to focus here. This is the tip that I use. It's a chisel tip, fine chisel tip. This is what I use for keyboard building, so I'm not even going to change that. But just for the sake of the video and clarity, which this hacker one there. Just for sake of clarity, the way that you change the tips on this is you remove that like that, pull this off. Look how easy this is to do. Don't do this, of course, while it's hot, but you just slide this off and then slide the other one. You'd slide the other one on like that. Boop, and you're done. Super easy to do if you need to change your tips often, which maybe you do for the type of work that you do. But for me, this chisel tip does most of the work that I like to do. Okay. There's a pretty good chat happening here. I'm not really paying attention to it at the moment, but it looks like you guys are talking about alias switches. The alias switches they're from Gateron. They're pretty much the Gateron Brown silenced. So it's weird that you guys are saying that there's quality problems just because Gateron is known for such excellent quality. Dang it. A little mosquito that got in. It is raining like a bastard outside. All right, let's talk a little bit more about this soldering iron. Okay. First thing to say is here is the temperature control. The temperature control is in Fahrenheit, and there's the dot to line it up at. So I like to solder around 650. That's what works best for my lead-free solder. So now that I've set that there, that should work. You can see it's got this clear housing. It looks like it's got an LED inside, so you can see when it's on. The LED there. That's cool. Okay, looking at this is... I'm going to admit that this is a little bit weird. Okay, this is the plug. The plug is a two-prong plug without a direction, without one of the sizes being bigger than the other. But what's really unusual is it's got this anti-static clip. The anti-static, why wouldn't you just have a three-prong plug with a neutral? I don't know. That's weird to me, but we can find somewhere to ground this. Probably to the wall or something. That's that. The other thing is this doesn't come with a stand at all. There's no way to rest this. So what I'm going to do to rest it... Oh, can you guys hear that? That's thunder. Whoa, yeah. What I'm going to use to clean it is this Hakko 633 solder iron holder. So I'll drop the solder iron in there. Well, you can't quite see that because my head's covering it. I'll drop the soldering iron in there. This one works pretty well. It's kind of universal. And then I'll clean it in here like that. That's the plan. Okay. Now to the fun stuff. Again, for a $20 soldering iron, so far, my feeling is like, yeah, it's not bad. Pretty good, actually. The way it wants me to hold it is like this. So I'm actually going to rotate the tip so that it's better suited to the way I would like it to be, which is like this. that. Okay. Again, nice part about removable tips is you can adjust them. Now, first things first, let's just talk a little bit about soldering irons. This soldering iron at $20 is much better. Even if it doesn't work, it's still much better than the one you can buy at Home Depot for 15 bucks. I know that already because this is temperature adjustable and this is designed for electronics work, which the one at Home Depot is not. Andrew, if you're listening, I'm talking to you. All right. This is going to be cool, I think. All right, so first things first, I'm going to connect this anti-static fa-ching. Over to the wall. And then I'm going to connect this to my power supply at the back here. You can just about see it. It's what my fan's actually attached to. I'll do that in just 1 second when I'm ready to solder something. Okay, speaking of something ready to solder, I'm actually going to... Wow, you should see it raining. Wow, it's raining. Actually, do you want to see that? What does rain really look like on Tinternet? I don't know. Let's take a look. No, I can't move the camera far enough. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay, I'm going to solder together. I'm just going to tin some wires that I needed to tin. But you know what? I've forgotten it upstairs. So I'm going to go grab it. I'll be just 1 second. I'm just going to press the be right back screen and I'll just be right back. Mic is still hot, but I'll be right back. I'm back. I wasn't gone long. Sorry for that. Okay. So, this thing that I'm about to solder is the ZL7432US in-wall 2-switch relay. This is for another project, completely unrelated to keyboards, but I really need to tin all these wires. So, that's what I'm going to do. And I thought, why not tin them with a brand new soldering iron? So that's what I'm going to do. Cool. I'm probably mostly going to do it on the action cam here. Let me just get that sorted out. Yeah, cool. But before I get to that, I'm going to plug this in. And I'm going to show you guys how to properly start a soldering iron. Okay, you might not know this, so let's get into it. When you first get a soldering iron, the tip is untinned. It's like in its raw form. And what you want to do is you want to get solder onto that tip before it starts to go black or oxidize. So really what we're going to do, you got to figure out a method to get solder onto that as soon as you possibly can. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. One of the ways that you can do it is by wrapping, I've just done it off screen, is to get some thin solder, the thinnest solder you've got, and wrap it into a little coil, which is the method I'm going to use today. That way, as the soldering iron is heating up, you just put the coil over, and as soon as it's ready to melt, it just melts. The other thing you can do is like lie this flat across if you're doing it with thicker solder, and as soon as that melts, then you go and cover it. So, like I say, my technique for today is to coil this. So I'm just going to put this down, and I'm just going to coil it around like this. The coiling method, you can say you saw it here. Just like that. You can see this? That's, you can kind of see it. It's sort of out of focus. You see that coil there? That coil means that as soon as it's ready, this is going to get covered. This is the same solder that I use in thick and thin. It's Kester lead-free solder. You should always use the same type of solder, and you should do your tip in the type of solder that you use. Okay, cool. That's ready to go. So I'm going to plug this in now. Just going to plug it in. Okay, the little lights come on. The little light there has come on, which means that we're starting to heat up. And I'm going to put my little coil on action cam here. I'm just waiting for this thing to hot up. Oh. Oh, it's gone a little awry for me. It's not gone that bad. The coil is still on there. Just waiting for it to heat up. I can start to smell that it's cooking. There we go. You see that? And then the tip just got covered all at once. That's the right way to do it. Now I've got a fan here. My fan is not blowing. You just want to get this covered nicely here with solder. You can see that. Maybe you can't because it's not that. But basically the tip is now fully covered in solder. You're not going to be able to stop the oxidation at the top of that. There's a line there. You're not going to be able to cover so much so that it doesn't cover that bit. Whew. Smoky, smoky. But that's it. That the iron is now covered in solder. So I'm just going to put that off to the side. And now I can turn it off. Because there's no on-off switch on this thing. Or maybe there is. No, there's not. No, there's no on-off switch. So it's basically, it's on as long as it's plugged in. Oh, I unplugged it, but actually I've got to tin these. So that's what I'm going to do first. Crazy KZ is saying, I'm fairly new to keyboards. What's the best way for me to practice solder before doing an actual PCB? And the guys are saying, just dive in. I recommend one of the cheaper kits, like the Sweet 16 from 1upkeyboards. By the way, I'm the owner of 1upkeyboards, and so I constantly talk about them, but that's why I constantly talk about them, because I'm the owner. But go check out the Sweet 16. We had a couple guys building first time yesterday, live on stream, and they built the Sweet 16s. And they both really seem to dig it, so, you know, only good things to say about that. Okay, I'm just going to tin these. And I'm going to do it with the thicker solder rather than the thinner stuff, but. Exactly what I didn't want to do, I've just done. Okay, just pulling my solder over here. If you've never tinned before, it's really easy. All you need to do is heat the wire and apply some solder. If you're looking to practice something or you've never soldered before, tinning wires is a great and easy way to start. Just gets you right in. And it means that the wires will last longer. Anywhere you got a raw wire, This is a really simple thing to do. Cool. First wire. Oh, did you guys not see any of that? You might not have seen any of it. First wire is tinned. Let's do the second wire. So again, I'm just going to apply the iron to the wire, and then apply the solder there to the wire as well, and then just move the soldering iron around until the whole thing is covered. Hope you guys can see that. I'm making it look difficult because I'm trying to do it for the camera, but really, this isn't too hard. I'm getting black oxidation on here. I think it's because this iron's too hot for what it, even though it's telling me that it's at 650, I think it's actually a lot warmer than that. Okay, let's do another one here. If you've got crazy KX, if you've got rattly stabs, what you need is some Krytox lube. Just pop some lube in there. You can get rid of rattle on any stab you like. Just a little lube. It ain't no thing. I'll be lubing some stabs shortly, so you can watch me do that in just a minute or two here. Cool. Yeah, just use thick lube. Krytox 204 is the good stuff. I'll be honest with you. These so-called bad stabs, I'd rather bad stabs with good lube than good stabs with no or bad lube. That's my personal opinion on the matter. I really wish this was easier for me. So I'm going to get this. this thing down. Okay, I'm gonna adjust the camera up a little bit here. Life is so much better when you have the right tools. Look how easy it was that time. Okay, just 1 second. I'll be right back. Just gonna open the door. There's no air flowing that way. Last one here. Cool. And we're done again. Cool. So now experimenting with this will be a whole heck of a lot easier. None of these. Oh, that one's poorly done. Other ones poor? No, they're all looking pretty good. A little bit of oxidation in there. Which tells me that the iron's running hot, but cool. Let the experimentation with this thing begin, because this is gonna be awesome. Getting really into home automation at the moment. I don't know about you guys, but it's a super cool thing. I'm all about it. Okay, putting the ZL7432 US off to the side, and I'm getting to the build. let's lube some stabilizers. How about that? We'll start there, figure the rest out. Alright. Lubed stabilizers. So we're going to start with this stuff. This is the Krytox 205 GPL. You can buy this stuff straight from Amazon. Don't get the big, huge tube like I did. You totally won't ever need this much. Even as a keyboard builder who's been building keyboards for the better part of 2.5 or 3 years now. Even though I've been building for that long, I've only used a 5-ounce tube. And I still had some left in that. I gave it away yesterday, but this is like 5 lifetime supplies. Anchorbait, this is a customer build, but again, I'd rather these properly lubed. So let's get to how to properly lube these things. Okay. So I'm going to do a proper lubrication on these. And to do that, I'm going to start by lubricating the insides and outsides of these. Oh, is that? That is not pricked. That is a non-pricked hole. Do I have a pin? I don't know if I do have a pin. I'm going to go grab a pin. I'll be right back. Mr. Yes, you can disable the underglow on the 60% PCB. I'm going to show you how to lube them. Once they're lubed, these stabs are awesome. I really, the one bugbear I got against what's happening right now in the community, there's this hatred of these stabilizers, and yeah, we sell genuine cherry stabs. We do. We have them in stock and in store. But Mr. Yeah, you can customize it in every which way you want. There we go. Now that's in. And look. There we go. A little bit of lube on here. Just a little bit of lube, and all I'm going to do is just paint a little bit on the sides here. I'm giving this the royal treatment. This is thick grease, again, for any parts that move up against each other. Lubrication will remove any... How's this camera focus? Is it okay? It'll remove any jangliness or any noisiness. Again, it's thick grease, and it's perfect for this application. So. Hurt Wolf just subscribed. Welcome to the channel, Hurt Wolf. Thanks for subscribing. If you guys haven't already, could you go ahead and smash the like button? The more likes we get, the more people get to come and join the channel. It helps the channel, and that's awesome. Thanks, Hurt Wolf. Welcome to the show. Building some keyboards here. That Tassie Home solder iron was fine. It was fine for $20. It was fine. I'd much rather you guys buy that as a budget option than get the cheap, shitty ones at Home Depot. I'm gonna apply a bit more lube to this paintbrush. A second. All right, so I'm lubing the outside of those pieces, and I'm gonna lube the inside of the other pieces. I'm just gonna make the whole thing real nice. And then I'm gonna show you the easiest way to lube your ones at home. Is the fill method. That's a really good, easy way to do that. Look, I'm also gonna go inside here. I'm just gonna lube the inside of there and the inside of there. Feel a little bit like Bob Ross at the moment. Just gonna so a little apply down there and a little apply down here. Put that over to the side. And do the same thing to this one. A little apply down there and a little apply up there. And just gonna add a touch more lube to my stick here. A little apply down there. Again, a Radley stabs is just that the plastic is just contacting plastic. And so putting some lubricant in there means that you're contacting lubricant on lubricant or lubricant between two bits of plastic. And just like everybody knows that cartilage stops two bones rubbing together, so too grease and thick lube stops pieces of plastic rubbing together. Oh, one thing I do not do is I do not Band-Aid mod. Band-Aids, as Creamy will tell you, attract dust and dirt. I especially don't lubricate any Band-Aids or anything you put at the bottom of a stab. I like the stab to impact the PCB directly to give that real thocky noise. But I think there's a little too much focus, if I'm honest, in the community right now about stabilizers. I don't think that stabilizers make or destroy a good quality keyboard. You just need to learn how to lube it correctly and you're good to go. Okay, now that I've put lube in all of those, the next thing to do is to lubricate. I'm going to take my big tube here. Is to lubricate these corners, and the way you do that, pop that in there like that. Came out a little wetter than I would have expected. In there. I'm not sure what exactly is up with that.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Oh. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Whitewater rafting. No idea. Steph, can I have a paper towel? I'll go get it. There's a brand new tube of Krytox, and there's a little bit of, it's like, it's like there was moisture in there, which is weird. Like lube for the lube. Okay, let's pop that over there. There we go, much better. Much better. All right. Three. You can see I'm just doing it in the corner where the metal wire goes. 4. Yeah, you can post links if you want in the comment in the chat. No problem, especially you mods. If you're not a mod, you need to get mod or communicate with one of the mods, and they can check if it's a safe link. And if it is, then you can post it. I'm doing this a little high, aren't I? Here, let's do it. It's like that. Okay. These are all now ready to go, and so what you do, you take a look at the stabilizer, and there's two sides to it. There's the one with the, it's difficult because they're clear, but you see this is just one big box at the back, and then there's the one with the two boxes at the front, and it's the two boxes, or what I like to call the hotel side. You take the hotel side and you put that towards the front of the stabilizer. You put the wire in on the ground floor and then snap it down through the lube. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side here. Take the hotel side, point that towards the front. Now what we're going to do is put this in on the ground floor and snap that down. There you go. Still a little bit of rattliness. We're going to eliminate that in the next bit. The reason it's currently rattling is actually not plastic on plastic, but it's actually that we didn't lubricate the inside of here. So we didn't lubricate where the metal is hitting the plastic. That's what that noise is. So we're going to get rid of that in a minute, but we're going to assemble the rest of these first. Again, hotel side towards front. Snap this down through the lube. There you go. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Hotel side. Down. And oh, I've picked up two stabilizers, both the same side. Need the other side here. That would be needing it next. Same as always, hotel side towards the front. Go. And this, hotel side towards the front. Hotel side towards the front. Metal wire goes in on the ground floor, all the way to the back, and then snapped in. Two more to build here. This hotel side towards the front, through, and we're gonna put this in on the ground floor. Click it down through the lube. Same thing the other side. Hotel side, that's that side towards the front. Just like that. Like that, and then down through the ground floor and down through the lube. Okay, again, one more. They're pretty close to silent already, but the thing, and this is the easy part to do when you've got it already on your board, is we're just going to clip these into the PCB now. And once they're in place in the PCB, then we're going to fill the back of these. So really, even if you have stabilizers that are very close fitting on the wire, or you still actually want to lube this bit, it's an important phase that I've seen some guys exclude. But the wire inside will actually cause, it'll actually rub against the plastic, and you can actually get squeaky stabs from inside the stab, which is even worse than rattly. It's squeaky. So give me just 1 second here. I'm just going to go grab that PCB. Steph didn't take the arms off of it. Oh, switched overhead. Steph didn't take the arms off of it, so I'm going to do that. This is way easier if you have like a screwdriver or something. Or pliers. Oh, pliers. I have pliers. To get leverage on these. Yeah, look how easy it is when you have pliers. Easy. Doing it with your bare hands sucks. This is the 1UP logo version. Switching over to the action cam there. This is the 1UP logo version of the Gone Nerd PCB, which is pretty cool. All right, leaving it face up because we're going with the standard here. Let me just switch over to that. And what you do is you put the stabilizer in, toe into the big hole, heel into the small hole, and then just clip it down. Do the same thing on the other side. And the end result should be that these are firmly in place and that you can't see light underneath. Now you can see actually I've made a mistake on this one. Let me just show you with my tweezers here. This again is another real reason that people have bad stabilizers and curse and swear at a particular brand or another brand. But look, you can see there's a little bit of space under there. Can you see that? That little bit of space means that it's incorrectly seated. So actually what you need to do is pop this up and out like that. Seat it down better. Boy, this one just really doesn't want to play. Give me just 1 second here. Is there something interfering with it? No. There we go. There we go. Now it's nice and flat. You can see here. Now I can't fit the tweezers underneath at all on either side. So that is a correctly seated one. And just for those of you who are at home, who are waiting for the bit where you figure out how to lube these to stop the rattle on your home one, look what you do. You get to the back of it here like this. You just fill this hole with lube like that. Look at that. Just squeeze it until it's full. And it's the same with this side. Squeeze this till it's full. Once it's full, you now have a thick lube. Put a little too much in there actually. You can tell it's too much because it spills out the back. You now have a thick lube stabilizer, and that now the wire simply can't rattle. Okay, I'm going to do that to one that's not on here, just so you can see how that works, even though I should do it on, because otherwise it'll probably spill out the bottom, but I'm just going to show you what that looks like. You just fill that up like that. Squirt in here, fill this up like this. Okay, and then I'm putting this right by the microphone. I'm gonna go overhead. I'm gonna say, look, this, you can see this is my felt from my microphone. This is my felt from my microphone. My microphone is right here. You can't quite see it, but look. There's no rattle. Now that there's no rattle, why would anybody on earth complain about this? I really don't know. Anyway, I'm going to carry on here. That is how you properly lubricate a stabilizer. Don't believe anybody who tells you otherwise. Okay, and I'm slotting these in, same as before. The big end is for the toe. The small end is for the split heel. You got to make sure they're all the way down to get them in place. There we go. That looks right. Let me show you again on action cam. Now you can see here it's flat all along that edge. It's flat and there's no space in there. The same thing could be said about this side. Flat, no space. Cool. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep rocking on here, do a couple more. Big is for the toe, small is for the heel. And look, I've done this one incorrectly just so you can see the difference. Look, this one, look, you can see you can fit this underneath. You see that? That tells you that this stab is incorrectly seated. You want these to be as flat on the board as you possibly can. There, now they're both super flat. You see this? You can't fit anything under there. Now it's tough to see because it's clear. I still have to lubricate that one. And I'm going to have to lubricate this one too. Yeah, those are both seated correctly. And then one more, which is over on this side. Toe goes in the big hole. Heel goes in the little hole. Oh, that one did not go in properly. Boy, I'm having a bit of tough luck today. And don't believe that the screw-in stabs are different to this. We also sell the screw-in stabs, but it's the same thing. They've got to be able to lie flat. Once the screw is in, it doesn't matter how tightly you've tied the screw. You need to make sure, you see there's still a little bit of space under there? That's not right. You need to make sure that the toe is completely flat at the front. So, again, same applies. If you get the screw in stab and it's not completely set up at the front like that is, you can see now, if it's not completely set, you're going to have problems with alignment and your keycaps fitting, all sorts of messes. Yeah, that's correct. Nice and flat and seated properly. Cool. And I'm just going to fill up these ones now. Again, that's just to stop this metal bar from rattling around. I'll turn that around. That is what you call a properly lubricated stabilizer. Now, again, for me, oh, that's not properly. Now, for me, again, I don't want anything at the bottom of this because I want this to land flat and flush. I don't want any warping or dampening. This is done. Oh. Just this one more. And again, I recommend this is the correct way to lube stabilizers. Even if out of the box they sound good, this is the correct way to do it to ensure that you have long-lasting, good performance. Okay, cool. Cutting to overhead. We're going to get ready here to start putting in the first switches. Again, I'm just going to give my hands a quick wipe here so I don't get any lube. Okay, we're going with 92 Kale Bronze today. What I like to do is just do the first 4 corners. That's where to start. And then we'll go from there, really. Cool. If you just do the 4 corners like I'm doing, and in fact it won't really be the 4 corners because I'm going to do the shift in the bottom left here. This just gives you something stable to start soldering the board against and really make sure that everything is properly aligned as you go to the next phase. And like I say, I'm going to do this left shift just because I don't know where that bottom left control is supposed to go. So to avoid any confusion, I recommend you do the shift key because you'll know where that goes because it's got to go between the 2 stabilizers. Okay, now flipping the board over. Just going to take a look here. You want to make sure everything is fully seated, firmly flat, and that both pins have come through, both pins have come through, both pins have come through, both pins have come through. Now, I'm lucky that today's build is a plate mount. So all I need to do is just push firmly, and I know that they're in. If you had a PCB mount, there's little legs you got to make sure are through the holes. Okay, and with that, I'm going to start the soldering iron up. Let it get up to temperature. And I'm going to start the fan too. Okay. Here we go. Switching over to action cam so you guys can get a nice close look at this. Just going to give this a quick little wipe. quite warm enough yet. Oh, I see how the little light works on this too. The light comes on when it's heating, and when it's reached temperature, there's the little light. When it's reached temperature, the light goes off. Cool, okay. Again, just going to wipe this. There you have it. So far, so good, Soul Rep. So far, so good. Okay, just a little technique thing that I'm doing here. What I'm doing, holding the board down as I remove the soldering iron, just so you can make sure that the switch is as flat as it can be against the bottom of the board. Okay, cool. Last switch here. There's a little bit of flex in this thing. I think I'm going to try tightening that screw joint up during its next cool cycle. Come on out of the plug hole, you bastard. There we go. Boy, that was tough. The cable for the Soul Rep is kind of short. You would probably, in my estimation, want a plug on your desk like I have in order to be able to deal with it properly. Okay, now what I do for this next bit is I like to screw on the risers or the standoffs so that I have something to push against on the other side. So I'm just going to go through and do that. Cool. And I can turn off that fan at this point too. It stopped raining here. Finally. I know you guys are talking about switches and switch prices. Just so you know, we've got some Aristotles in. Some of the very last Aristotles I think that are ever going to be for sale. I can't seem to find them anymore. And the very last package that I'd ordered 6 months ago or more finally arrived. And we picked it up during the stock count, and we only have like a couple thousand of them. So if you're looking to speculate on switches, those Aristotles might well be the ones to do that on. Just a heads up. 23 people currently in the room. If you haven't already, could you please smash that like button? I'm going to press the like button so you guys... I had a couple dudes in yesterday. I don't know if any of you guys got to see that stream, but it was pretty awesome. And they used they as in Jimmy C, used that macro pad a lot. And it was pretty cool. Cool. All right. Let's start smashing at this. All we have to do, make sure that the pins are straight. Just like that. Look, nice and straight. Yep. And then smash them in to their corresponding hole. There you go. These are pretty tight, actually. So, the thing with these carbon fiber boards is the more switches you have in place, the stiffer the board gets. So at the start here, there's a little bit of flex to it when you're between the standoffs, but the more of the switches you put in, the stiffer and stiffer it gets. Eventually, it'll be a super stiff, beautiful sounding carbon fiber keyboard. Man, those stabilizers are beautifully lubed, and that new bottle of 205 meant I didn't have to squeeze and fight that little tube that I had before, so super thankful for that. Cool. I'm away for the next little bit. Away on work, but I hope to be back at this very soon indeed. I've got a couple of reviews I need to make, and assuming that I don't get to it on today's stream, I'll be back at it hopefully next weekend again with some more. And I've got some of my videos I've been able to cut down. So I've got some edit releases coming out during the. I'm gonna get back to my usual Saturday schedule. This move really disrupted that, but soon enough we're gonna have more content on a weekly basis. Hurt Wolf, what kind of lube was it? Crytox 205. You can find a link to it in the About section below. Or if you go to 1upkeyboards.com and you go to the MISC section, we actually link to Amazon where you can buy that stuff directly. You don't need to buy it from us. Just the smallest tube is a lifetime's worth. BM McWirt, there are a limit on how many Aristotles I can order. Yeah, there is, because I think there's only 1,000 of them in stock. At least there was on last Saturday when we actually snuck them up onto the website. There may be less than that now, so But the new website should be properly keeping track of stock, so if you can see them in stock, they are in stock, which is a nice feature of the new website. Simple things, boys. Simple things. Like having stuff in stock. It's just amazing how that can affect your life. Anchorbait, ever plan to lube some switches? Of course, I've lubed some switches previously. I did some Gateron Reds before. I've got this awesome lube board that was made for me by Mr. Rooks for disassembling switches. Yeah, totally. I'm totally into that. And of course, we've got Tribosis on 1upkeyboards, available in 2 different sizes. So that's good too. All right, now this is a tricky one because this is a non. Yeah. I was trying to get this one to be perfectly level. It's easy for it to not be level. But I'm getting better at putting them in. So, go with that. Hey Pete, have you found a better Bluetooth headphone yet? Shad, that's exactly the thing that I've got to test here. These Archier, these are over ear though. And no, I'm still at the King Hughes for my daily. Hold on one sec. I had them just there, and I've moved them. Oh, I know where I put them. Because I'm going on this business trip, I'm not probably not going to bring these Bluetooth headphones with me, so I took them out of my backpack. But these are the ones that I use in my dailies, the King Hughes. And I'm being totally straight with you when I say that they suck. They do suck. The volume thing doesn't work. They complain about the battery about 10 seconds before they shut off. They're pretty bad. But they're still the best ones that I've ever had. I've had really expensive ones. I've tested really expensive ones. And they just don't fit in my ear very well. So I keep going back to those ones. They're the best I've had. What do you want? And then those new Archier ones, they're over the ear, so I'll let you know how those go. Linky108 says, I literally just burned the solder joint for my S key after swapping the switches. You should check out my bridging video. That'll tell you what to do. So you can get that back up in no time. Bridging is really easy and has rescued more than one keyboard. Have you tried aftermarket tips? It's not really the tip that doesn't fit. The tips all fit. It's that my ear canal seems to be angled like at this sort of an angle. So things just want to fall out of my ear cavity. So it's not about the size. I mean, I stuff them in there real good, but my ear cavity just chucks them back out. And so, especially with the really long ones, what was the name of the brand that I was doing that I tested recently? Brainwaves. Brainwaves, they're really big, long, and heavy. And when they're tipped like that, they just slide out of your ear. They had a couple other issues too. I got back to the company and told them the issues that I was having and asked them to design a better one. That's actually what I said. To them, they treat this channel like, because this is not an audiophile channel, they treat this channel and me doing this as like a live consumer report, which is great because that's kind of what it is. So they got the feedback. Hopefully they'll make better ones in the future. And again, it's part of the reason I don't do paid reviews, because I don't want to lie to you ever. That's my whole thing, is I don't lie. It's limiting for this channel. It means it doesn't grow as much. It means that I have to constantly ask you guys for super chats and support, and to buy me a coffee in the about section below and all that jazz. But it also means I don't ever have to lie to you. Can also recommend V-Moda Crossfade Wireless. Cool, I'll check those out after the stream. Okay, now this bottom row, this customer is not buying this with keycaps, so I don't actually know where the keycaps are supposed to fit. So I'm gonna go grab Steph's TKL from downstairs, and that's what I'm gonna use to properly place this bottom row. Just situating those correctly. Okay, be right back. I'm just gonna pop down and grab that other Okay, and I'm back. Here is Steph's. This is actually Gatistotle's. Does that mean we won't get a typing test? We won't actually get a typing test on this board. But what we will get is correct location of the switches. Okay, so right to the right. Right to the right again. Right to the right again. And then this one can only fit in one place, I believe. And then this goes to the left. And then this goes to the left. And then this goes to the left. And then this one also goes to the left. Well, if you think the typing test is the highlight of the stream, then why don't I do a bit more typing test with Steph's Gatistottle board, just so you can enjoy a bit of that. These are the Gatistottles. So Aristotle's plus another switch. I'm planning on doing Aristotle and B-Sun very soon. So crispy. Cool. I'm gonna give this a quick little dusting for Steph here. That looks much better now. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice indeed. All right. Well, let's carry on with this board. It's time to get to the soldering. So just going to check that all the switches are fully through here. Yeah. And then I'm going to be using the Tassi at home Soul Rep 2000 again on this board. Straighten that out a little bit. That one too. We're through everywhere and all over the place. Okay, so now it's time to plug this back in, turn my fan back on. And again, like I say, I figured out this little red light tells me that it's heating up, and when the red light goes off, you know that it's hot. Which is weird. Actually, it could have gone the other way. It could have been that it would be not the right temperature until the LED came on, but hey, that's what they decided. There's a person in the world whose actual decision that was, and that's what they decided to do. So who am I to question them? Just another couple seconds while it's getting up to heat. Don't forget, links to this and everything you can see on my desk are in the About section below, so you can go check that out. And the little light's gone off, which tells me that we're ready to go here. This tip is looking a little bit off, in my opinion. So I'm just going to clean that up. All right, here we go. I forgot to tighten. So it's a little bit soggy on me. You know what? It's bugging me a little too much. I'm going to unplug it. It's even easier. Just unplug them both at the same time with one switch. It's bugging me a little too much, so I think I'm gonna. You know, I could probably do it with some pliers. Which way would you tighten that? There we go. See? Tightened. Yeah, turn it back on. Oh, you guys didn't see any of that. Damn! Linky108, take a look at what I've done here. I've got a triple fan blowing the air out. And my triple fan blowing air out means that I'm less worried about it. Because I've got good ventilation. Oh, it's so much better now that it's tight. Already. I've only had it going for a second. Cool. Just doing the soldering here. Obviously concentrating pretty hard, so I've gone a bit quiet. But you guys keep it up. Keep up the chat. Keep up the help. Keep up the whatever it is we're up to here. Speaking of which, don't forget to press like. And don't forget to press subscribe. I know we're not using SolderCam today while I test out this SolRep 2000, but be sure that that will be back on the stream very soon indeed. This is easily the best $20 soldering iron I've ever used. No joke. Easily the best. It is performing admirably in here. Which explains both why the people at Tassie Home were so chill about me being 3 months late to review the thing. They know they've got a quality product on their hands. I'm genuinely impressed here. And like what I expected, what I actually expect with, because with cheap soldering irons, and trust me, I've used a plethora of cheap soldering irons. The Yehua, by the way, is the worst one, and it's not even that cheap. Is that they have these wild temperature variations, so that you'll do one switch and it'll look smooth and perfect, and you'll do the next switch and it'll look really poor. It'll look like it hadn't melted properly. But that is not what I'm getting here. I'm getting a real consistent temperature out of this thing, which again is surprising given that it's only $20. Color me surprised. Honestly, I expected to do 1 or 2 switches with this thing and then switch over to my usual solder cam, and there's just no reason to do that. High praise. You guys know I'm not afraid to say when something sucks. I can see the little light blink on and off, like when the temperature's obviously dropped to the point when it needs to, but it doesn't stay on for very long at all. It's like in and out. I'm impressed, Tassie Home. It's gonna be a bitch to edit this video though. So I'm gonna have to go in here and like find all this. Audio. Whatever. Quick wipe off there. part of a good soldering iron experience, though, I got to admit, is just tipping it. And now that I'm getting really good at tipping, maybe I should make a video just about that, how to tip a soldering iron. I also have the cleaning stuff from Hacko, which is really good. You can make an old tip look like brand new again. The real test will be the other side when we're testing the switches. But this no lead solder, it's really finicky. And so for it to be melting this consistently, it's a surprise. Cool. Again, I'm just concentrating real hard here, but it doesn't mean I can't do any talking. One of the things I wanted to shout out yesterday that I never got the chance to do, again, for those of you who weren't around yesterday, learn to live stream and learn to solder that Jimmy C and the Street were involved in. I just wanted to give a shout out to my pals over at Epiphan. They've been encouraging me for a long time to do a how to stream video, and while the video itself wasn't much of a how to stream, having those guys here and teaching them how to use the rig and what it takes to do a live stream, I thought that was really cool. And if Atari Zero's in the house, I don't know if he is, I just want to give him a shout out because I know he's new to live streaming, but he's doing just an absolutely excellent job. Really enjoy his live streams. To those of you who are here who are checking this out, I am just soldering this board up. I should get one of those microscopes or overhead cams or something going so that I can get even closer to the action. But this is not solder cam today. I'm not using solder cam. I'm testing out the Tassie Home SolRep 2000, which is an amazing name for a product. If you couldn't tell, SolRep 2000, I don't know where they came up with it, but it's awesome. I'm really enjoying using it actually, which is surprising, I'll be honest. Especially as I've for so long recommended people only buy $100 soldering irons. Can't stop talking about it. Speaking of my friends over at Epiphan, if you guys are thinking about getting into live streaming, I highly recommend the Webcaster. I have the X1, but I really badly want the X2. It looks so cool. You can do multicam setups. I watched their live stream actually on on Thursday afternoon. They do a live stream every week, and they were talking about different camera setups. And actually, in yesterday's live stream, I used my Webcaster X1 to give a camera 2 perspective. I didn't bother setting it up today, but I should have. So easy to do, so quick and simple, and it's really cool, of course. Second last row here, getting towards the end of this. What I haven't set up yet is my tester space, so I'm gonna have to do that as soon as this is done. Hopefully I have a USB mini nearby that I can use to test this thing. Linky, I would say, and I've been to Bunnings a bunch of times. The hardware store ones are not temperature controlled. They have these really wild temperature variations, and I would say actually you do want to replace that as soon as possible. If you've been lucky so far and you've not experienced a lift pad or any of the other side effects that comes with a super hot or high temperature fluctuation iron, you're lucky, but I would still recommend that you get an electronics iron that is temperature controlled. The hardware store ones just are not up to the job. This SolRep one, you can find the link to it in the About section below. It's only $20. I'm sure you can find it in Australia or New Zealand, wherever you're coming in from. I think actually you're Australian, if I remember correctly. I used to go to Bunnings in New Zealand a lot. Love that hardware store. Also love the Mitre 10 for those of you who are from New Zealand and know what I'm talking about. Mitre 10, big up. For those of us in the U.S., though, Home Depot's not bad. There's also a 24-hour hardware store in Manhattan that I really like. It's pretty cool. The people there are really good, really sound, bang. We're on to the martini. Martini at the bar, please. Martini at the bar, please. Martini switch here, unless I've forgotten one that I did not see. Martini at the bar, please. Martini at the bar. There we go. We're all done. Again, this Soul Rep has been far better than anybody could have imagined, or at least far better than I could have imagined. I really was not expecting much, especially, you know, that I'd taken 3 months to review the damn thing. I have to admit that I am indeed pleasantly surprised by its quality. Oh, Linky says lifts pads constantly, but I thought it's because I sucked. It's not you that sucks. It's the tool that sucks, man. If you're living down in Australia, you'll be pushed towards the Yahuwah as an alternative for the Hako. Do not buy the Yahuwah. As somebody who has devastatingly bad results because of it, please do not buy that. Okay, I'm going to test this keyboard out. And to do that, I'm going to use Keyboard Tester. Launch the tester. There it is up there. Now, if I press Tester, it worked. I can't believe it worked. I'm going to press Reset here. Just give me 1 second, guys. I need to find a cable. Here's a cable. Alright, let's start in the top left, even though I started with the arrow keys. I don't know why. Alright, I'm going to press Escape, and then the F keys. Yeah, the scroll lock, it's not uncommon for it not to work. And again, the bottom row is always funky. Control works there. The Windows key pops up the Windows button. You didn't see it then, but it did. Alt. Then we've got spacebar. That worked. And then this side is going to be funky as well. Alt works, and I think Control. No, these are all programmed keys. So don't take these ones not working as the board not working. I will test those out using. Using the Gone Nerd. Oh, scroll lock actually is a different problem than the one I thought it was. Scroll lock, I actually... Look at that. I didn't solder it. So let's solder that puppy in, shall we? mentioning the TS100 again. I was supposed to look that up yesterday, and I never did. I'm going to take a look here. Review soldering iron TS100. Oh, that's the one I saw. What's his name using that? Which is really cool. I saw, what is his name? Huey using that on stream. How much are those, the TS100s? Are they on Amazon? $79. Well, that's not $65 you can get one for. Well, yeah, that's not bad. Okay, I'm just going to solder this one last switch in because I am a muppet and I forgot to do it. There we go. And now, just as quick as I can, I'm going to plug it back in. Let's switch back over to the tester screen. It still wouldn't surprise me if scroll lock didn't work. But it does now. Awesome. Sweet. Well, we have a fully working keyboard here, so all that we need to do is just finish it up. Just a couple little bits left to go. And I can turn off the soldering iron. God, this plug is so hard to remove. I should really put this on the smart switch. Cool. Okay. Next up is the bottom of the board. And to get to the bottom of the board, what I'm going to do. So this is the bottom. You can see it's going to. Oh, turn off the tester. Oh, hello, everything. This fits on like this, which means that this is the bottom of the board, which means that it goes like this. Cool. Now I can grab this 1UP sticker. Cool. And the other part I got to do is, this is going to be a flat keyboard. Alright. Now what I'm going to do, pop this first foot here in this corner, and this foot up here in this corner. Alright. First two down. And the next two, there we go. I'll take that off in a minute. All right, next up is removing the screws from this side. I don't want to put my keycaps on this board simply because this is a customer board. They're eagerly awaiting it, and the last thing I want to do is tempt fate by putting on and removing keycaps, leaving it in anything other than perfect working order, fresh, new. That's the sort of service that people get when they buy pre-made, pre-assembled keyboard from me, which I know is a pain in the butt for you guys, but I'll do some typing tests on some other things that I've got kicking around at the end of the stream, just so you guys can hear some cool boards. Cool, 25 viewers. How are we doing for the likes, guys? I actually, in the new setup, I can't see how many likes or new subscribers we've got during the stream. How we doing? Anybody not pressed like out there? Jimmy C, who was in yesterday, he is a social media expert, and he was saying to me, you should remind people that now that they've been hanging out with you for the last couple of hours, they should press like just because they've been there for a couple of hours. And I thought, oh yeah, you're quite right. They're the right sort of people to smash that like button. Of course, newcomers too. I went to the YouTube space for a talk about how to do better live streams. And one of the things they said was to remind the audience to press like and press subscribe frequently if you're live streaming for more than 30 minutes. I don't do it every 30 minutes, but I do still think that I'm annoying with it. How do you know if the switches are soldered in straight if you don't put keycaps in? Quap, great question. I have put enough time building keyboards to know that the switches are going to be straight. But you're absolutely right. You at home, when you build a keyboard, you should definitely put keycaps on and test it. This board, of course, if the keycaps aren't straight, they will be. But if they aren't straight, this customer can send it back to me, and I will straighten them out and make sure that the board is perfect in every which way. You guys hear those birds chirping? 17 likes so far. 19 now, says Hurt Wolf. Thank you, Hurt Wolf. Yeah, and I didn't want to put keycaps at all on this. God, this is beautiful. I didn't want to put keycaps on it at all. So what I did was I lined it up against another board. Again, usually you do the bottom row by putting the keycaps on, but I'm in the fortunate position where I have another full carbon fiber TKL just at my disposal. So I was able to line these switches up in the order that they should be, just to make sure. And of course, just shaking this just for you guys at home who are wondering about rattly stabs. Super flat. Boy, this is beautiful. This makes me think that I should do a board with some DSAs on them. super sweet. All right, let me just finish this board up by pulling this off of here. There you have it. A 1UP Carbon Fiber TKL. This is a customer build again. These are pretty crispy, actually. Steph, is this the key? Is this the switch you would go for?
I don't know. I think so. Is it the lighter of the two?
Kale bronze?
Is that lighter than the gold?
I don't know.
Whichever one's lighter, I would probably try.
Yeah, okay. So
And
Steph,
I like very light switches. What light clickies?
oh cheese, that sounds awesome. Okay, great. Finish the customer build. The only thing left to do for them is to put these few remaining switches, this and these 2 remaining feet. Well, James, if you're watching, this is going to be an awesome looking board. Here's your extras that are going to go with it. Good luck. Enjoy. All right, cool. Now I'm going to clean up a little bit and then, oh, one extra switch here that I didn't see. What time is it, Steph? 12:30. So we've been streaming just about 2 hours now. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in today, and of course everybody who's pressed like, and of course all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. I think these should all be tipped this way, this way, this way. Just tipping all my screws the same direction here. iFixit kit. Love this kit. Cool, cool. Just putting stuff away here. Still putting stuff away. Again, my POV on this Tassi Home Soul Rep is yes. Maybe, actually, I should do that. I should do a concluding statement on this. So just my final thoughts here on the Tassi Home Soul Rep 2000. I think it's really good. It's surprisingly good for 20 bucks. You can find a link to this in the About section below. Again, thank you to Tassi Home for sending this to me and for being so cool about me taking forever to actually do this review. It's really cool. It's, yeah, again, I'm surprised several times in all those tips. This is going to be a great addition to my space. Thank you again. Don't forget to press like. Don't forget to press subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the comment section below. Thanks again for tuning in today, guys. We'll see you back again soon. If you're in the live stream, don't, of course, leave because we're just still chilling out and whatever. I just wanted to do that so that I can edit this into a complete video. But it's super cool. And they talked to me about doing a giveaway, which is supposed to run in March. And then I said I was going to run it in April. And then I said I was going to run it May 1st. And now what are we? May something. May 3rd. 12th. May 12th. Still haven't, only just reviewed this now. I said I was going to do it as part of my 30,000 subscriber celebration. That happened. I think I'm close to 31,000 now. What can you do? Sometimes, you know, life just gets in the way of doing the cool things you want to do. But no wonder they were so chill. They got a quality product and they were not afraid. Excuse me, not afraid to wait. Okay, so let's do, tell you what, I'm going to do a couple of different. Just going to do a sound check for you guys. Because I know you said you liked it. I know you said it's your favorite part. So let's just do 3 different sound tests, 3 different keyboards. Mr. Don't Go! Mr. Don't Go! Let's start with Buckling Springs. This one actually made for me by BM McWirt. He can make you guys an awesome looking keyboard too. Don't leave! Wait, don't leave! No! Everybody's saying bye, good night, but chill out. You ready? You know what I'm going to do, actually? I need to do this in 1-minute segments. Do I have a stopwatch? Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds, starting now.
Alexa, stop. That was the sound of a bolt-modded IBM SSK. This one was made in 1992. Alexa, set a timer for 90 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds, starting now.
Alexa, stop. That was the sound of Gadistottles on an enclosed 1UpKeyboards TKL. This is with the Cherry Skeletor set. Is it Cherry or GMK we call it? I think we call it GMK. GMK. Atari Zero, you did miss the entire stream. And what's worse is I shouted you out twice. Twice, man. And last but not least for today, we're going to do a 90-second typing test on this. I think this is a Zelio 65-gram open design with JTK keycaps. Alexa, start a 90-second timer.
Timer for how long?
90 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds. Starting now.
Again, that was Zelio 65 grams in this LJD 61 up. Alexa, stop. In this LJD 61 up red carbon fiber. This is dope, this thing. With white JTK keycaps. And just one more, because somebody was asking about it earlier. Atari, of course it was good stuff. I was saying, yesterday we did that live stream where I was showing the guys how to live stream and, of course, how to solder too. And I was just saying how great I really think your stream is. I know you've only just started live streaming, but you're wise beyond your years already. I thought it was really good. Your stream is awesome. If you guys haven't already subscribed to Atari Zero's stream, you absolutely should. I'm just going to wipe this down a little bit because it's a little bit mucky. And of course, a clean keyboard sounds even better than a dirty keyboard. I think this one's just about due for a clean. Ew. A little bit of Scotch tape on the edge of this one. Gross. This is the FC660C Topre keyboard. Alexa, set a 90-second timer.
For how long?
90 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds. Starting now.
Mic too far. I've been doing all this typing and the mic's too far away. God damn. God damn it. Alexa, stop. I have another microphone. I have another microphone that I can put right beside this thing. You just didn't say it early enough. Okay, one more. One more and I'll have to redo all these typing tasks at a later date. I have to agree with Kairos. What's Kairos saying? Yeah, that just destroyed my desk and now shit is falling off of it. This is my Fiel. This is my Fiel. This has Zelio 67 grams on a brass plate with SA profile modern Selectric. Y'all ready for this? You can't be ready for this. No one's ready for this. It's too much to take. Just, by comparison, this thing is like for commuters. This is for a cyclist. Look at this. Like I can hold this by its corner with look at this. It's like the super lightest thing in the world. Even though when you put it on the desk, look how grippy it is. It's like super grip. Look. It's super grip. This thing. It's too much. You gotta support your desk. You gotta support your desk just to have this thing. Y'all ready for this? Let's kick this. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds, starting now.
It's a little rattly, that one, isn't it? Alexa, stop. There you go. That is the yell. The other thing that I have here, I want to tell you a little story about this board that I'm going to make. This is the clipe that was micro arced for me, but the finish on it has come out disgusting. Like pure, look at it, it's disgusting. But it's a solid looking, nice looking board. So what I've been doing is I've left this. When we moved, everything got wrapped up and got, not this thing. This thing is my beat up. Everything about it is jank. So I am even using it to nail stuff in. It's pretty awesome. This is everything now. So this thing soon I'm going to build a disgusting board, and this is going to be at the bottom of my disgusting board. and it's going to be the most beautiful, disgusting board of all time. You can't see it, but there's little scratches and shit in it. There's little pieces of metal embedded in it. There's like stains. It is horrific, this thing, but I kind of love it. I kind of love it for being disgusting. It's like the end of the world. So good. I can't wait to build with it. Look, just treat it rough. You know, you can't treat the damn thing rough enough. And like, I want to move this over there. I'll just move it with this thing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be super awesome. I love this thing, even though I hate it. I love hating it. It's going to be brilliant. Yeah, this is going to be my grunge board for sure. It's going to be awesome. I love it. No, it does not look nice. Can you see the like striations in the pattern here? It's like that on the back. It's got this like, I don't even know. It's like a grease mark or something on the back of it. It is horrific. It is horrific to a level that I can barely describe. No, it's horrendous. And I'm gonna pair that with some disgusting keycaps too. I think JTK is super disgusting. I think they're probably the grossest keycaps I own. But I'm gonna go even more disgusting for this. I think it's yeah, it's properly gross. Whereas this is my most perfect board, I think. The most perfect looking board. Although the one I have at work is even better. So, anyways, I won't labor on about that. Hey Pete, have you ever shown those painted plates? No, I haven't. You know what? They're in a box downstairs, and I would pull them out. I'll do that in an upcoming stream. I'll do that in an upcoming stream for you. We have not taken pictures of them. We haven't done anything with them. They're still in a box and locked in. We're up to 27 viewers. You guys just watching me play with keyboards? Is that a cool thing? Like, should I do some more? I mean, I can't ruin this board fast enough, but at the same time, it looks so dope. Do you guys want to hear some other keyboards then, I guess? Oh, what other boards have I got to hand? They're all much the same. They're all much the same. Oh, I got this one. Yeah, I got this one. This one is the prototype TK board. With the most expensive keycaps out in the world. This is Beats on Browns. This is Hacked by Geeks SA. Trust me when I say you can't afford this board. And it's a prototype. That was cool. What else I got? What else I got around here that's worth dragging out for a minute? I got master keys with greens, and I got the electrostatic capacitive from Millo. And I got the Magistouch Ninja with blacks. What else have I got over there? Oh, I got the reds with XT. Got the... Oh, what about this? Cherry MX Clears on my original JD40 from Control Alt. That's a dope board. Yeah, I didn't lube the stabs on this one. I was just in a rush to build this as a prototype. Yeah. What? What, lube those stabs? Shall I? I guess. I'll just show you how to do it. I mean, it's not that hard. I don't even... Do I have a keycap filler? It's right here. It's not exactly... This isn't exactly rocket science. Yeah, look, you just... gonna have to pull these two off as well. Here. Anchorbait, how much for the hacked? What do we think, Steph? 10K? No, we can't buy a new house for 10K. Yeah, it's not for sale. I think I would do 175,000. This will get rid of most of the rattle. It probably won't get rid of all of it, but so see that rattle? But you see what I'm saying? All you have to do is just put a little lube in there, and like, the worst keyboard in the world just turned into something amazing, just because of lube. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so rattly. I wouldn't buy that. And then all you can hear is the beautiful. That is exactly what they should sound like. Cool, dope, sweet, awesome. What else do you guys want to talk about? What have I got here? Oh, browns. You ready? Alexa, set a timer for 90 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds. Starting now.
Alexa, stop. You guys don't know why I'm doing this, but it'll make sense soon. I promise. Soon. Cool. We have 23 concurrent viewers, which isn't far from our peak at 27. Anything more you guys want to talk about? My skiwithpete hat? Something else? TM, it'll make sense when you see it. Here's actually what I'm doing. I'm going to create audio links inside of my 10-minute countdown. So for those of you who come early, you're going to be able to hear different keyboard sounds linked throughout that 10-minute warm-up. That's what it's for. So here we have 1, 2. I never did this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, and this will be 7. So $176,000 is the current bid on the complete hacked. This isn't it. I also, of course, have the ISO kit. I have the Aero kit. I have the different space bars. I have the JD40 kit for the hacked. It's a complete kit and one of the only ones that you'll ever find anywhere. So at $176,000, I'm still gonna pass. You have not hit the reserve price, so deal with it. Cool. I'm gonna start putting these away. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of box switches come in. Oh, that's a good idea. Put the audio samples on the website. That's a good idea. This one doesn't go away. This one goes over here. Yeah. This one I have a box for. I really like this keyboard. You know what's so strange? I really like this keyboard, and B, or 2 as my fingers are showing. I like the keyboard, and we sell the Hasu controllers. I could totally put a Hasu controller in this thing, and it would be super good. I would love the damn thing. I just continually don't do it. The Hasu controllers sell out so fast, we can barely keep them in stock. And so every time I get the opportunity, I think, I don't want to do that. $1 million. $1 million. Unfortunately, Evil Corp already makes $8 billion a year, so we don't really need $1 million. Steffi, any news on Panda switches? Yeah, I have some news. It's bad news. We don't have any Panda switches. It's not looking good. It's looking like we're going to have to go back into design, which will take months, if not years. So it's really a dark, dark, dark place right now on Panda switches. That's not official. That's the unofficial word. The official word is not out yet, so hold your breath. Ian McWirt with some funny in there. Yep, appreciate it. Let me put this keyboard. This is a beast too. Pop that over there. There's lots of other stuff that's supposed to be coming that hasn't come yet. These are we have a ton of designs from Creamy that we just have not yet put into production, and it's shameful on our part that we haven't done that yet. We're just too busy, and we keep not responding to him and Tom. He's a real smart dude and makes lots of awesome keyboard designs, and we just have not pulled the trigger on anything with him yet. Which, again, it's shameful on our part. No doubt about that. Little pieces here and there. What else can I tell you while I'm here? I think that's it. Hacked goes for $400 USD on Mech Market. When was the last time one of those sold? Steffi. Well, guys, now that I'm back, like, you know, there's so much to do on this channel, even when I'm wearing my big glasses. Pete, do I get a sticker with every purchase? Pretty much. Pretty much. There's a couple of things that you don't, but they're so, like, if you were to buy just the cleaning stuff, you don't get it. And if you buy any of our affiliate links, you don't. But pretty much everything else, you do. Yeah, I think it's every order over every product. It's like every order over $20 unless the product itself is branded. You'll see. Anchorbait says, at skiwithpete, why do you like trash stabs? I don't think there are trash stabs. I think that there's just bad technique for putting them together. That's my answer, Anchorbait. Hope you love it. Why are you obsessed with, like, there's only one good stab out there, and even if you lube it incorrectly, it still sounds okay, and even if you put a magnet for hair at the bottom of it, then that's the way sure, I don't, you know, everybody to their own, man. I'm cool as. How radically is that stab? It's not. 3 months is the one I found. Yeah, 3 months ago is the last one you found for $400. And now, as you heard live on this stream, they won't even sell for $1 million. Fact. And that's it. That's all for today, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much to everybody who hung out, everybody who joined the chat, to everybody who pressed like, to everybody who pressed subscribe. Yeah. Dope. Thank you again for hanging out. I'm wearing the Ski with Pete hat. I'm out of town for the next week. Just me, though. 1upkeyboards will continue on without me. I'm out of town for the next week. Then after that, I'm going to do some live streams. I'm going to do some live streams next week when I'm back. I've got some home automation stuff to do, which is what this is. I may just turn on a live stream later just to play with this thing. But thank you again to everybody who tuned in. Thank you especially to my new subscribers. I know that there's at least one of you. No super chats today, but thank you again yesterday for yesterday's super chat. That was super awesome of you, Atari. And thanks, BM McWirt, for saying welcome back. I do appreciate that. I really definitely enjoy these streams. It was a long time coming to get the space set up in the new house all organized, but it's looking good. And, I've just bought this awesome new computer that's going to let me grow this space in this channel even more. So you're going to get better views, more in-depth stuff. It's going to get a whole level better. So don't forget to press like. Don't forget to press subscribe. And we'll see you all back again very soon indeed. And of course, I say this every time, but now that the stream is over, head over to the chat. Mange HD was awesome to set up the 1upkeyboards chat room. You can find it in the About section below. It's the Discord link. Click the Discord link. Even if you just want to lurk there for a bit, go on, hang out. It's a great, super positive chat. Everybody's super cool and super helpful. Whether you have questions about keyboards from 1UpKeyboards or from somebody else, all good. Everything is worth talking about in there. Thank you again to everybody who supports this channel. We'll see you guys back again soon indeed. Cheers, guys. Have a great Saturday afternoon. We'll see you soon.